I am the LGBTQ2 program facilitator here at Sudbury Action Center for Youth. My role here is to help manage the drop-in. I help the youths who are looking for services, help them get in touch with the agencies that will help fit their needs, help give support here. I also facilitate the LGBTQ2 support group that we run here. I also work with an organization called TG Inner Selves, which works with transgender people in Sudbury. And I also do work with some youth through that group as well, because our support group that we run is an all ages group. I'm also a student at Laurentian University. I've just been accepted into my professional years to study social work, and I'm doing it through the School of Indigenous Relations. So I've been sitting in on the meetings and participating in the conversation, explaining how these services relate to what I do here at SASE, and also give a little bit of a youth perspective and talk about what would appeal to young people. It's nice to have a bit of a youth perspective, because as you might be able to tell, I'm kind of young, just a little, and look at things like how to give the information to young people. Well, you can give us pamphlets, but we're going to use our phones or use the internet. Back in the fall, we had an LGBTQ2 discussion group, and we actually hosted it here in Drop-In. We were packed with LGBTQ2 youth, and I had actually invited adults who were part of that community. Some of the youth knew these adults, so I knew these adults well enough to say, I know that you're talkative, I know you have some concerns to voice and some opinions to share and some experience to share. I want you to come and I want you to talk, because if some of the young people see you talking, it might make them feel more comfortable about opening up themselves. I also invited the very, very talkative, outspoken individuals and had them bring their friends as well, and said, look, here's your opportunity to have your voice heard, and don't say that people do not want to listen, because here's your chance, do not blow it. And so that approach really worked in this case, and so we filled the room and had a very lively discussion. There were a lot of concerns addressed and a lot of concerns voiced and a lot of opinions shared that could be very helpful in how services are conducted in the future. Honestly, if this were a collaborative with no youth involvement whatsoever, it would be much harder to take it seriously, because how do you know what the youth population needs if you don't even make an attempt to interact with the youth population? So I do appreciate that. So I really like that it's not a bunch of adults saying we think we know what's best for young people, and let's not even ask them what they think. I find it interesting being part of the Service Collaborative, because I do see how that decision process goes. I'm learning a lot of definitely learning a lot of the jargon used. Because I spend most of my time with youths, which I adore, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I don't see that bigger picture on how these services come about. My ideal outcomes would be to see those service gaps that we've discussed in these meetings filled, and to really see things move along with what we've been discussing, and to see those services really improve with all the talk that we've had over the last few months. My advice would be to just get involved, to not be afraid to speak up. If you hear something and go, maybe I would approach that differently, to just speak up and say, hey, you know, let's consider this, or have you thought about this, and to really take an active role. It's better to say something and maybe it seemed a little odd, seem like an odd idea, than just not say anything at all and not have your voice heard. Not a problem.